Hello, everybody. This is Edward Pivos for MLive, and this is so exciting because the SS St. Clair is here at Riverside Marina in Detroit. We're about to take a tour and see the progress of the restoration. Now, if you recall, a few years ago, there was a big fire here while they were undergoing restoration, but this ship is built with a lot of steel, so they were able to kind of save quite a bit of it, and a lot of progress has been made. I was here about a year ago, and the second and third decks and the fourth deck are now being built. So we're going to go on board, and I'm going to take the camera and introduce you to a couple important people with this. The man leading the restoration project is on the right here, Stephen Farage, and on the left is the director of the Boblo Boat documentary, Aaron Chillinger. What's the specific name of the Boblo Boat documentary again?
Boblo Boat documentary in 20 theaters across the Great Lakes called Boblo Boats, a Detroit Fairy Tale.
There you go. Boblo Boats, a Detroit Fairy Tale, playing all over the state right now. So, I mean, it's a must-see. So we're going to go on the boat. This is amazing. And talk loud, guys, because I don't have you guys mic'd. But this is amazing. So this is the SS St. Clair, one of the two Boblo boats. The other one is in New York being restored, the Columbia, and that is never coming back. But this is going to stay here when it's all said and done. And this gentleman right here with the Boblo Boat hoodie is Stephen Farage is going to give us a little tour and tell us what they're doing. And this is about 3 years left of this project, right?
Yep.
So what are we looking at? We're on the first deck here. What did this used to be, and what is it going to be?
So it is hard to envision and imagine, but what you're standing on was the main deck, and it's going to stay a lot like it used to be. Your concession stands, your restrooms, your gift shops. You're standing on a lot of steel that took a lot of time to replace on this floor after the fire. So this is where a lot of the work went. It took a year just to clean the boat after that fire.
It took a year to clean the boat after the fire. Wow.
And then this steel was another huge part of redoing the ship. With the superstructure done, it's the most time-consuming part of the project. So the stuff that comes up is going to happen a lot quicker than what we've been waiting on doing all this steel. So
let's take a walk.
We'll just take a walk a little bit up here, and you can see that most of this deck, the floor you're looking at, has been replaced. It's brand new.
So the floor is brand new.
A lot of these posts and these beams, the structure stuff you're seeing, is new.
A lot of the posts and beams are new too.
refurbished.
Okay. And so you're going to be building this, though, the way it looked. It's going to be, obviously not a lot of the original, because you said a lot of the wood, the mahogany burned in the fire. Actually, it's all gone. But you're going to restore it with that same type of wood, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We want you to look at the Boblo Boat and know it's the Boblo Boat. We're going to restore it just like the Boblo Boat was. This was a steel floor that was all gray before. It's going to be a steel floor that's all gray now. Okay. The wheel you're looking at right here was the secondary wheel that used to be on the very, very, very top deck that the Captain Boblo would stand at sometimes. That was blue. It's going to be blue again. So we really want to stay true to a lot of that stuff.
Wow, very cool. And so this is the main deck, the first deck. Is there something below this?
Deck. Well, that would be the engine room deck.
Engine room below us. Okay, this is the main deck. So and this is where you said the concession stand was, and it's going to be again. You're going to have one of those. This is amazing. All right, we're going to go upstairs. So Boblo, amusement park, closed in '93. God, it's almost 30 years. And again, this is one of the two Boblo boats, the SS St. Clair. And the other one, of course, the Columbia, is in New York. And you're going to keep this here in Detroit, right?
Absolutely. That's one of our main goals, is for this boat to stay right here in Detroit, wherever it goes. We don't have a final destination yet, but we know that we want it to be right on the Detroit River.
So Aaron, director of the Boblo Boat documentary, which is in theaters right now, a must-see from what I've heard. I have not seen it yet, but some other people that are on this boat said it was excellent. What does it mean to be on this boat right now and see the restoration and the progress?
So I have been following the St. Clair restoration team for about 4 years when she caught fire. And I was devastated when I saw the fire on the news, like so many people were. And honestly, I felt like that was the end of the boat. And
yeah, that's how I felt too, yeah.
A lot of people thought that was just it. So to be able to come on board nowadays and see all the work that Steven and Dr. Rankatu, who owns the boat, have put in. You know, it's not only money and time, blood, sweat, a lot of tears to get to this stage. And it makes for a very emotional viewing experience to watch the film and to see the events, you know, everything they did going up to the fire and all the work that they've done since. It's almost a story of Detroit, you know. Detroit burned down, and the motto of Detroit is rise from the ashes. And then when you come here and you see everything that the St. Clair restoration team has done since the fire, it's just inspiring. You feel the resurgence of the city when you stand on the boat.
Mm-hmm. You can feel it too, just the history of being on here. Now, this is the second deck, second level. What was this, and what is it going to be?
So this was the infamous dance floor, and it's going to be
Dance floor.
Infamous dance floor again. The DJ booth was right in front of the.
So you're going to have a DJ booth and a dance floor
yeah,
again. You're going to make it just like it was. Okay.
Stage/DJ booth, so just like it was before.
Wow.
I mean, that's what we want you to think of and remember, just like it was before. So it's hard to vision right now, but believe me, the structure work is done and the finish work will happen, and this will become that awesome dance floor once again. And you know, Aaron's film, one of the great things that it does is you guys are seeing now what we're looking at, but it does a great job of showing you what it looked like 80 years ago when people were on this dance floor and on this boat, as well as what it looked like for us getting to this point.
Yeah.
So that's one of the exciting things about the film for us, is it kind of documents our journey that he just described.
Yeah, one of our viewers here, Terry, said riding the Boblo Boat was probably the best part of going to Boblo Island because, you know, people really enjoyed the boat. It was very memorable part of the experience. And how many amusement parks can you just ride a boat to, and a historic one at that? And I'm so glad you're bringing it back. And did you ride the boat? Did you come to the amusement park when you were a kid?
Yeah, I never got to go to Boblo when it was in operation. That didn't stop me from spending 7 years making the movie. So
7 years, unbelievable.
I feel like I know what the experience was like, having interviewed so many people. I just fell in love with the two different personalities of the boats and just the happy memories that people have.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes surprising memories, you know, people falling off the boat, people, you know, getting married on the boat, falling in love on the boat. So
amazing.
It's just too many to recount.
Amazing memories. And the Boblo had been around for 100 years or more. I mean, it's very historic. You know, when school trips, you know, this is the place people would go. Boblo is the place people go on school trips. I mean, this, you know, Cedar Point too, but really, Boblo Island, all over Michigan. I lived in Flint, and that was where our school trip was, Boblo Island in elementary school. So
yeah, a lot of the automotive factories would do their company picnics, and that's.
People ask me all the time, why do so many people know and love Boblo? And I think, you know, that what you guys just described, that's what it is it was a lot of people's school trips and the corporate trip. I mean, it was such a big part of Detroit that, like, nobody didn't do it.
Yeah.
Everybody did it at some point.
Everybody did it.
And Aaron's a testament that you really don't have to have even been there to be able to feel and understand what it was like.
yeah, and Hilda with a comment here, she remembers being on the boat more than being at the amusement park on the island. It's just amazing. Hey, let's go up to the third level real quick.
Sure.
Well, actually, it'd be the fourth level, right?
Yep.
Okay. So we're going to go up to the fourth level, or I'm so confused. Third deck.
The third deck, but you're looking at the fourth deck being built.
Okay, so we're going on the third deck, and they are building a fourth deck. Amazing. And this is not for the faint of heart.
No, it isn't.
I know, right? Thank you. Holding the camera. So now, again, I don't want to mess it up. We are on the third deck, and up there will be the fourth deck where the steel beams are.
Yep, third deck, and then once that goes up, that would be the fourth deck, which in the past, actually, people were not actually allowed to go all the way up there.
Yeah, okay.
But we do plan on letting people go up there in the future. So we've redone the structure so that it would be strong enough to actually have people go up on the main deck, so that it would be a floor and not just a roof.
Okay. And so what will this deck be? I think you mentioned a museum was going to be up here, things like that, right?
So this was originally the beer garden. This is where This is where our parents were when we were running around freely on the boat, and we didn't even know. So this was the beer garden, and we want to keep it that, which is a bar. But that's what the beer garden was, is a bar. So we're going to keep it a bar. However, we're going to add to the front half of it. We are going to add the museum, where we will focus on not only just Boblo, but Detroit as well.
Okay, so this will be great. This you can drink just like you could, the parents could back in the day, but you can also learn about the history of the island and the boat and see a lot of memorabilia. That's going to be fantastic. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for that. This is amazing. So thank you guys for giving us a little bit of tour of the boat. And you said in about 3 years, okay, it's got another 3 years to go. But once it's all said and done, you're going to keep it here and people are going to be able to enjoy the boat. You're not going to go up and down the river, right? Because I mean, it's an old structure. But you're going to keep it here and people can come on the boat and take tour, almost like a museum, right?
Absolutely. We don't know exactly where she'll be on the river, but we do know that we want it to be right here in Detroit. So we're going to do everything we can to keep it here in Detroit.
Yeah, listen, we can't move it like the Columbia. I mean, I'm glad that they're restoring it.
Yeah, we will not.
I'm glad they're restoring the Columbia in New York, but this has to stay here. I mean, this is Detroit history. This is Michigan history.
We're lucky to have her, to have Stephen and Dr. Ronka too, working on the boat. I mean, they're down here at least 5 days a week.
Wow.
So
Amazing.
you don't have to wait 3 years to experience Boblo, because you can come check it out in the theater.
Yes. Say the name of the movie, the exact title again.
So the title of the film is Boblo Boat's A Detroit Fairy Tale.
And I love that name. I love that title.
Go to BobloBoatsFilm.com or just Google Boblo Boats Showtimes, and Google should tell you the closest one near you.
Yeah, this is a rare opportunity, folks, to learn, the history of Boblo, and not just the boat, but the island and the amusement park. And it's narrated by legendary Motown artist Martha Reeves.
Yeah.
What a great get that was.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun working with Martha to do the voiceover. We wrote the film from the perspective of Columbia, the older of the two boats. So it's like a boat narrating her generations-long story of taking people to Boblo, all the history, the fun, happy memories, but also the history of segregation and desegregation of Boblo, which the film goes into.
Amazing. So yeah, so much that people may not realize. Yeah.
A lot of history happened on these boats.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. Pleasure. Thanks. Check out the movie, folks. And again, here's one last look at the restoration progress of the SS St. Clair, one of the two Boblo boats here in Detroit. The other one is in New York. Yes, that is Aaron. Yep. And go check out the movie too. It's amazing that we have this film to see and learn so much about Detroit's history and about Boblo Island. And there you go. This is amazing. I'm glad I was able to give you guys a little bit of a tour of the SS St. Clair and the restoration progress. And we thought fire had pretty much destroyed it, but they're spending, I'm going to whisper this, they're spending well over $1 million restoring this thing. So it's amazing. All right. Thank you guys for watching. This is Edward Pivos for MLive.